Hey guys, Smooth here. So a lot of people, including myself, have a lot of issues with some of the changes happening in the beta. For PKers especially, the removal of special attacks is not something they're too happy about. They said they replaced special attacks in general combat with abilities, but have they really removed special attacks from the game? Technically speaking, not really. Let's look into this. In the bottom right corner over here we have the ability book. So let's go to the melee one and you see we have attack and strength. So you have your threshold abilities, your basic abilities, as well as your ultimate abilities. Now these are supposed to be replacing special attacks. Also if you go over here, so the Constitution and Defense area, let's go to Constitution. You have an ability called Momentum. Now Momentum reads, dramatically increases the damage for your auto attacks for 10 minutes. However, using any abilities will end the effect early. Now presumably this is for melee and ranged, because with melee you'll auto attack with whatever weapon you have in your hand. With range you'll attack with whatever bolts you have stored, or arrows of course. And with magic, every single attack is some sort of an ability. Since every attack is an ability, Momentum will not apply. It's important to note that ranged and especially melee had the most game-breaking special attacks. Magic had virtually no special attack items with a few exceptions like the Staff of Light and the Pen and Tridents. As a result of this change, ranged and melee had taken somewhat of a hit. But now you gotta ask yourself, why didn't Magic have many special attack weapons? Simply put, virtually all Magic spells are special attacks. Here I'm geared up for Magic with a few different spells in my action bar. Now when I right click one of these and select Auto Cast, it's basically the exact same thing as auto retaliating for ranged or melee. The difference being that I do a lot more damage, even faster than somebody using Momentum. Now even Fire Surge has a higher DPS than Dual Rapier's auto-retaliating with Momentum. Storm of Armordile is pretty much uncomparable. As you can see, I'm pretty much one-hitting all these things. And all of this is AFK. Not to mention, none of what I'll call magic special attacks or abilities have been removed. You can still use Ice and Blood spells the same way with their effect. So why remove special attacks and then basically keep them for magic? Seems a bit unbalanced, doesn't it? Now you might make the argument that magic costs runes whereas melee is free. But then again, melee requires 2 skills to train, strength and attack, to get what magic gets in 1 skill alone. There's a lot of quirks that need to be worked out. Now here's the gaping hole in the logic behind all this. You can see here the Polypore Strike spell is unique only to the Polypore Staff. Also, besides 80 magic, having a charged one equipped is the only requirement to cast it. This is essentially a special attack, albeit one that you can use repeatedly. Why not do the exact same thing for some weapons except make them drain the adrenaline bar? That's a very simple solution for basically reviving special attacks without imbalancing the game. Not to mention weapons are pretty boring in the beta as the only thing you really care for are the stats, whereas in the live game you might use a weapon that has weaker stats just because it has a good special attack. Here's a simple solution to pretty much everything I've mentioned. Get rid of Momentum and add Stab, Slash, and Crush as basic abilities for auto-retaliating. Make Stab a unique ability for stabbing items, Slash unique for slashing items, and so forth. With auto-retaliate this should probably do around 80 to 85% of the damage that can be done using different abilities. Special attacks can of course be applied to certain weapons that would also reduce the adrenaline bar. Also, in the same way that the Polypore Staff has a unique attack, do the same for unique weapons like the Abyssal Whip. You can also add a new weapon slot action bar with 1 to 3 slots allocating these abilities. Everything here can apply to range as well, of course. Now this would single-handedly balance most of the problems people have with the beta, and I'm sure saving thousands of members in the process as well. Let me know what you guys think about all this. I'd love to show this to Jagex, but I don't have the means of doing so, but I really feel this could potentially save the game. If any of you support this idea and would like to bring it up to Jagex, or know someone who could, I think we'd all appreciate it so the game could take a step in the right direction. Thanks for watching guys, I'd love to hear some of your thoughts on this, so leave a comment below if you have anything in mind, and as always don't forget to like and subscribe.